Optimizing marketing. What a great phrase that a lot of people talk about that people just don't understand or maybe can't wrap their head around what it really means. So this machine aspect of marketing, right? How do we set up a machine? How do we have it working for us? Gets a little bit skewed because the human element gets forgotten, right? So right away, because you have a machine and you have human beings involved, there's so many ways that can go wrong. So instead of thinking of the marketing as just this machine, this heavy duty piece, let's look at it more as like a living, breathing organism, right? Something that's just growing and moving and kind of pumping, right? We talk about a pulse on the market, a pulse on what's going on in your business. This is what your business is really doing. It's pulsing, right? And it's moving in different ways. It's almost like a little glob that's just growing, that always has to be fed, always has to be kind of steered a little bit, measured, tweaked, tiny adjustments. This is really what your marketing machine and what optimizing looks like. It's not a one and done. And the reason KPIs get talked about so often, the reason why they're so crucial is the way you optimize, it's not by, hey, I fixed it, it's working perfectly. It's by getting your processes and your metrics in place so that when a number moves, you know what it means and you know what you have to do. That's the true optimization of marketing. That every day, every week, you have such a tight control on your numbers, on what you're testing, on the result you're looking to achieve, that you can make adjustments relative to those numbers instead of shooting from the hip. By doing that, by understanding those numbers, now we can kind of push that marketing glob where we want it to. We can help it grow the right way. We know when to throw money at it versus when to back off and adjust versus when to tweak a piece. All of this comes into this optimizing because we know the KPIs. Everything that you're trying to do in these machines comes down to those KPIs. We get asked a lot, how do you, once you've built this, now you're optimizing it, you get it working right, how do you turn it over? When is it too big? When does somebody else step in and do it? When does a third party start to run the marketing? All of these are great questions. You're asking yourself the question of, how do I hand this off so I can grow? How do I spend double the amount of money on marketing? How do I do all these pieces? Fantastic questions to be asking. These are growth questions. But those growth questions don't come along unless you know what's currently happening. The answer to your, how do I hand this off to somebody else? You have it so tightly tracked that you have the confidence as a business owner that all you have to do is look at those numbers and you know whether that's working anymore or not. That's how it works. That's how the living, breathing organism works. Down to how you manage channels and what works and what doesn't work. Another big question that comes up, what channels should I be using? Which channels work? Every channel works. It's a matter of cost efficiency. It's a matter of what's your budget? What kind of lead flow do you need? Are you trying to get deals before they hit a certain stage? Are you trying to target very high spread stuff? Are you just trying to increase volume? There's so many different ways of doing this that you have to figure out, where am I going? What's the result I'm trying to achieve? And then you start tweaking numbers, tweaking actions in order to achieve that result. None of that happens without those KPIs in place, giving you the confidence to either hand that off or spend more money or make this adjustment we need to this week. So by just wrapping our heads around the fact that this isn't, hey, we're gonna set it up and it's gonna be done. I can give you 15 different blueprints from how to do this. It's gonna change every week. The general way of doing it and some of these rules that we talk about and general methodologies, those are all the same. But every week, how much money I have to spend per channel every month, the percentage of leads coming from direct mail versus cold call versus text, all that stuff could be changing every week, every month. That's stuff that I'm gonna let the metrics tell me what's the market doing. All of a sudden I see a drop in text message performance. I may shift some of that budget over to direct mail to see what it does, or cold call. That may be happening not because of anything I did. That may be happening because somebody else just came into the market and started spending a large budget on text. Fine. Let the numbers kind of steer how you're optimizing that, where you're shifting things around, which levers you pull on. Those KPI bases, letting the numbers kind of guide you that way, is how you get that efficiency, how you get that optimization, and more importantly, how you get that confidence. Because if you have confidence in your numbers and what you're doing in your decision making, that's going to allow you to move the fastest you can as a business owner. It's going to allow you to grow the fastest, and ultimately, You can bring other people in and bring team members in because you have really clear goals, really clear way of measuring results, and a really easy way to collaborate with other people in order to bring your growth up, to bring your efficiency up, and pump out more deals, more connects, more whatever it is that you're trying to do. It all starts with those metrics and understanding that it's not a one size fits all. It's not a one-time fix. It's a constant monitoring, constant tweaking, constantly working with that to make it more efficient and optimize it every single week.